White people are not happy, honestly. White people are furious. White people are angered. White people are outraged. White people rage. And the reason is because if you definitely talk about him, your employer might sack you. So it's annoying that a country said we have freedom of speech, but we can no longer express ourselves within that same freedom of speech. So how is that freedom of speech what we really have? Because if you talk about him, you might be sacked. Who the hell is he first? Anyways, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Sonia here. This is the first time you're tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches that you're going to be seeing at today's episode. It might be just short, but just let me know what you think in the comment section. And this is just for educational purposes anyway. Let's get right into this video, and then I'll be back with commentaries. So let's just get right into it, guys.
Charlie Kirk haters are losing their jobs for voicing excitement about his death online. And there is outrage that this is impeding on people's First Amendment. Their freedom of speech, they feel like they should be able to say anything that they want. Here's the thing. You're not being thrown in prison for saying these things about Charlie Kirk's death. You are losing your job. So the First Amendment right is intact. You're not being jailed for your opinion, but you are losing your employment because you are showing psychotic tendencies. You're showing excitement about cold-blooded murder because you disagreed with somebody. And that is generally like not something a person of sound mind would broadcast to everybody in the world. If you were trying to find indicators that somebody might be a workplace shooter or a school shooter, if you saw something like that online and you were the HR department, you would be like, holy shit, this might be a sign. This might be a sign that if this person gets upset with somebody else in the workplace or heavily disagrees with somebody in the workplace, that they might become unhinged because they think that that bullshit is okay. Like, they think that it's totally cool that somebody got publicly executed and for having a disagreement of opinion from theirs. Kind of makes you look at things a little bit differently in that context, doesn't it?
A curse on the hatemonger. Your mouth is a cannon of venom and lies. Each rant that you bellow corrodes as it flies. The bile that you spew in your furious breath returns to consume you in silence and death. The stage that you strut with your smirk and your sneer collapses beneath you, your end drawing near. Your voice once so loud, now a whisper of shame. Forgotten, forsaken, erased is your name. Your tongue, once a weapon, now heavy with rot, chokes on the poison your rhetoric wrought. The hatred you hurled at the world with such glee now binds you in chains you can never break free. I curse you with ruin, with downfall and blight. Your platform extinguished, your star without light. May every vile sermon you cast to the land turn back upon you by your own cursed hand.
To the people upset that Charlie Kirk got, you don't actually stand for anything meaningful. I feel like people are like, oh, he just said some stuff. He didn't really deserve to get got. And it's like, he didn't just say stuff. He was an active contributor into the rise of authoritarianism and to getting Donald Trump in power. He has direct influence as to what we're experiencing now and who's getting hurt by what we're experiencing. No, but this sadness and outrage is just silly to me because I know these same people, like, when it comes to families and children getting separated at the border and then children getting abused and locked up, silence. They don't give a fuck. When it comes to immigrants and even citizens getting put away into detention centers where they're being mistreated and abused, nothing, nada. When it comes to Southern women who are getting forced to give birth, and now we have a dumpster baby epidemic in Texas, who really cares, right? But the person who has directly influenced this kind of suffering unto others by getting Donald Trump into office and making a bunch of money off of it. He's a grifter. When he gets got, these same people are like upset. Like they have a lot to say about that. They just don't stand for anything.
White women, we have to talk about Charlie Kirk. Actually, we need to talk about how you're talking to other people about Charlie Kirk. If you, as a white woman, or a white person, want to have empathy for Charlie Kirk, you do that with your time and energy. What we're not going to do is tell brown people, brown and black people, gay people, trans people to have empathy for a person that wanted them and advocated for them. We're not going to tell gay people to think about his family when he told gay people that they shouldn't be able to have families. We're not going to tell people to have empathy for someone who never had empathy for them while he was alive. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you want to spend your time having empathy for this man and spend your thoughts and your prayers on this man, knock yourself out. That has nothing to do with me. But what I'm not going to let you do is tell other people to do that, because they absolutely do not have to do that. Other people get to deal with their mistreatment, with the hatred that is spewed onto them, whatever way they want to. So this is a little white woman talk between me and you, between me, a half white woman. I know if you need a whiter woman to tell you that, I don't know, find someone else. But check in with yourself before you go on the internet and you tell brown and black people to do anything. Check in with yourself before you open up your little camera and do that, because don't do that.
The fact that people are getting fired because they have spoken out against Charlie Kirk's hate is really upsetting. None of us are celebrating his death. None of us. But we are openly speaking out against this horrific idea that he needs to be idolized, that he needs to be a martyr for a cause. He was a horrible person. He did horrible things. He spoke poorly about women, about people of color, about black people, about immigrants, about literally anyone who wasn't a cisgender white male. And it's sad because our free speech is going to be diluted because people in the federal government are being let go, teachers are being let go, people in the military are being let go because they have spoken out against hate, because they have spoken out against what Charlie Kirk represented. And I want the names of every single private company, every single school who has let go of an employee who has spoken out against this, because these people are on the wrong side of history and we want to take note of what you're doing. Put them on blast. I want these people on blast who are letting go of employees simply because they disagree politically with the hate that Charlie Kirk spewed. Isn't that exactly what the right has said wasn't okay? Isn't that exactly what the right said wasn't okay? Didn't they say that, how dare you have a problem with Charlie Kirk simply because he disagrees with you? Didn't they say that? And now we have private companies and federal employers letting go of people simply because they're doing exactly that. They are speaking their minds and they are disagreeing with the person he was and with the way that he spoke out against everything that we, as liberals, as people who believe in kindness and love, believe in. Everything we believe in and cherish. So I am begging you, if you have been let go from your position for speaking out against the hate that Charlie Kirk spewed during his lifetime, please put these people on blast. They're compiling their own list on the right. Let's compile our own about these employers so we know to stay clear, steer clear of these people. Whether it be boycotting them, whether it be never working for them, we have the ability to boycott them as well. And I would recommend, honestly, if anybody is working for these employers, you should leave. You're not safe there. The hypocrisy is so fucking infuriating, and even more infuriating is how normalized the hypocrisy has become. Just what the fuck? Who do you think you are? It's disgusting. You make me sick. and you deserve everything that's coming to you. And I don't mean that in any kind of violent insinuation. I mean, you're going to lose business. You're going to lose applicants. You're going to be seen just how you should be seen based on what you're doing to your employees and based on the pure hypocrisy you embody.
If you say anything about Charlie Kirk online that your employer does not like and they fire you, there may not be much you can do about that. My name is Paige Sparks. I'm an employment lawyer, and this makes my eye twitch. Misstated all over the internet. You don't have an absolute freedom of speech against everyone for everything. Your constitutional rights, like the Bill of Rights, which includes the First Amendment freedom of speech, primarily protects you from the government, not against individual people or private entities. The U.S. Constitution limits the government's power. It is not meant to regulate private behavior in between people or in between businesses that have nothing to do with the government. I'll give you an example. If you make a public post online saying, "Fuck the government," a cop cannot show up at your door and arrest you for saying that. That is a violation of your First Amendment freedom of speech. As an employer, I'm a private entity. I have nothing to do with the government. So if my wonderful law clerk says, "Fuck Paige Sparks" online on a public post, I could fire her for that and there's nothing she could do. There are, of course, some exceptions, like if a private entity is acting on behalf of the government, or if you are a municipal employee and technically you have a government entity employer. But in general, you only have the freedom of speech protected against the government, not other people. I have actually sued the government before for violations of freedom of speech. Speech does not have to be just spoken to be protected. Actions can be considered speech too, like burning the flag, or if you flash your lights to warn other people of a cop sitting on the side of the road, that is also protected speech. Comment to let me know what other questions you have about the law. If you see people saying this incorrectly online, now you know.
So as the young lady on TikTok always says, and I think it's funny when she says this, I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I tell you this. But Charlie Kirk was not a man of God. I really would love for people to come on here and tell me what your understanding and what your version of a man of God is, but Charlie Kirk was not that. Okay. And I'm going to challenge you in this way. Find one video, just one video. Now, I would ask for more than one video, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to find it. But just one video where he's speaking positively and uplifting people in the Black community. Just one video. You're not going to find it. You know why? Because he made his whole entire personality, his whole persona was nothing but him degrading, speaking negatively, talking down about the Black community and anybody who was not white, Christian, or male. That was his whole personality. That's all he ever did. I mean, he could not keep Black people out of his mouth. And the funny thing is that, you know, you guys are always like, oh, y'all always want to play the race card. That's all this man ever talked about. That's all he ever talked about. Okay. According to him, Black people are the most criminal people in the world. Black men do nothing but sleep around and create children and leave the households. Black people are not capable of thinking on a higher level. Black women don't have the brain capacity to fulfill high-paying positions. And if we do, we're only there because of DEI and affirmative action, or we stole a white person's position. I mean, Black people can't be pilots, surgeons, anything that requires intelligence, mental thought, anything. We don't have the capacity to do that. Okay. But this is a man of God. This is what God would say. You're telling me that if God were to come down here right now, he'd give Charlie Kirk a thumbs up for the way he always judged other people that were not like him. You're telling me that's what God would do? Okay. So anyway, yeah, I want you to find that one video, just one, where he's speaking highly and positively about the Black community. I'll wait. I will wait. I bet you can't find it because it doesn't exist.
So it has gotten to the point now whereby if you talk about him, you are going you're going to be fired. You're no longer working with us. How dare you talk about the whole universe? How dare you talk about the one and only man that served God and served humanity with strength, with love, with passion? How dare you? That is the point we are right now. So you don't need to talk. You don't need to. except you don't want that job you are doing, except your employer is not a fan of what he's saying, except your employer is not some of the palm-colored people that are in line with what he's saying. But if your employer is one of them, then you have to keep quiet if you know you need your job. And that is the stage where Americans are right now. It is sad, it is so pitiful that a lot of people still see these things and still get blind to it. Let's just be honest. Has he ever advocated for anybody apart from the palm-colored people? Has he ever said anything so good about people that look like me? So tell me, why do you really need my sympathy? Are we even supposed to still be in this place? When I actually saw it on my FYP that if you talk about him, you get fired. And I was like thinking it was something like a joke. I said, okay, let me just make more research and see if this is a joke or this is not a joke. And I make more research and I find out that, so this is actually a very, very serious thing that the moment you talk, it's quite funny. I don't know how true this is, so let me not even be 100% saying, oh yeah, it's true, is this, is that, right? I don't know how true this is, but let me know in the comment section. Is it true? Have you seen anybody with such experience? Has it happened to anybody? I don't know, because I've been researching and I want to really find out, why must there not talk about him? Like who is he? Like who is he? Who is he? Do you get? That was even when I saw the video that his wife did, and she was like, she forgave the person that pew-pewed her husband. I was like, this acting is too early as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people will not agree with what I'm saying. Like, it's okay. If you do not agree, correct me in the comment section. But let me know what you think about this video in the comment section anyways. Credit belongs to original creators of every clip and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. This is just for educational purposes. We do not support any form of violence here. So feel free to drop me your comments in the comments. If I'm not doing well, tell me you're not doing well. A lot of people have been correcting me in the comment section, and I keep taking those corrections. So that's the kind of person that I am, right? So feel free to correct me if you think what I'm saying is wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't see any reason why anybody is to be laid off his or her job just because you are talking about Charlie. Like, I do not see any reason towards that as far as I'm concerned, because you said people have freedom of speech. So why do those freedom of speech need to be restricted from people? Why can't people just express themselves the way they are supposed to do it? Why can't people just do their thing the way they just need to do it without anybody interrupting or anybody saying anything? Because when this person was literally alive, this person was airing out whatsoever he needed to air out before someone that did not understand or understand came to pew him out, and of which his wife said she has forgiven him, and of which who are we to question her? So now, why are people suffering because of that? I thought they said he's a man of God. If he's alive, will he be doing this as a man of God? Think about it and let me know in the comment section. Bye for now. I'm going to see you guys in my next one with no further ado. I do like I say in my videos, because I've said bye before, but it just keep getting me mad anytime I remember it. Anyways, let's go.